Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 3 of House of Cards. There are some spoilers for Season 2 in this video, no spoilers for Season 3, but some spoilers for Season 2. Season 3 of House of Cards continues to follow Frank Underwood, now as President of the United States. Frank has to deal with a rocky start to his presidency, a lot of opposition, various international issues, and also making sure he gets re-elected. This season is different from the other two in many ways, but first let's talk about the things that are still the same. It's still the same high-caliber drama, the performances are still nothing short of incredible, and just how technically good the show looks is unmatched by any other show I've ever seen, I think. House of Cards always had this incredible aesthetic to it that never fails to deeply impress me. Alright, let's get down to it. This season is different. Even though the scale becomes international, Frank and Claire are in the White House, this time around the story is much more personal. The story digs deep into Frank and Claire as people, their relationship, and their marriage. The Frank Underwood in this season is not the same Frank Underwood from seasons 1 and 2. You're used to seeing Frank the shark, out for blood, ruthless, thinking up these brilliant plans and schemes to make things go his way, and then carrying out those plans without letting anyone stand in his way. So it's not so much the case in this season. Here, it's Frank with his back constantly against the wall. The whole thing is that now that he's president, he's the so-called most powerful man in the free world, he's actually not nearly as powerful as he used to be. He's nerfed. They've nerfed Frank. At first I thought it was interesting. We haven't seen Frank like this, dealing with these types of situations. But there's no doubt that it has taken away some of the things that I enjoyed most about House of Cards. Claire also has a much bigger part in this season, and she becomes more central to the story. Mostly in how her story relates to Frank and their marriage, but we do get substantially more insight into her character this season. I love Claire's character, but I still have to say there were a few times where she did something and I felt that it was kind of out of character for her. Like, the only reason that that thing happened is to move the story in a certain direction, and not because that's what Claire would normally do. There are actually two other characters that played minor roles in Season 2 that have bigger roles this time around that feel weird. Jackie Sharp and Heather Dunbar. A lot of the times they both felt like the same actresses playing just new, completely different characters. I wonder if there was a change in writers. There are a few side stories in this season. I thought they generally played very well into the overall plot. I really like Doug's character, I always have, so I was interested to see his story. But still, every time you see Gavin, the hacker, just smack away at a keyboard when some superimposed animation of what cool computer hacking stuff might look like plays on his monitor, I just got the feeling that, come on, House of Cards, you're better than this. I thought the season as a whole was still very interesting. I enjoyed it and I still love the show. It definitely went in a very different direction that personally didn't work for me as much as the other seasons. I never felt bored. It's still a very good show. And with shows like this, I don't think we can expect it to keep giving us the same thing. Obviously, we want more of Frank, the borderline evil mastermind, but I get that the show needs to evolve. But it's not going to work for some of you. This season is simpler in a way. There aren't a lot of super intricate plans. The whole inner monologue, Frank talking to the camera thing, you barely get any of that. And there's a huge focus on Frank as a person and the relationships that he has with the people around him. A friend of mine had this to say: it was good, but not what I signed up for. And I guess that some of you are going to feel that way. I will say that Season 3 doesn't have the same edge as the other seasons had. Bottom line, should you watch it? It's still House of Cards. It didn't lose any of its quality, and I still think it's a fascinating show, and if you've enjoyed Seasons 1 and 2, you should continue watching. Learning more about Frank is still interesting and rewarding, even if this season is a bit lower key than the others. So in my eyes, Season 1 remains the best season of House of Cards, and so far the show has remained good, better than good, but I liked Season 2 less than I did Season 1, and Season 3 less than I did Season 2. I am super excited for Season 4 though. Now for the interesting part. What about you? Did you watch Season 3 of House of Cards? What did you think about it? Let me know your thoughts down below and let's get the discussion going. Remember, you can go to bingewatchers.space/vote and vote on what gets reviewed next. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. But in any case, keep binging and I will see you next time.